What if you're on a dinner date, you're sat down at your table, and right before you order, the other person makes a very odd request? For example, do you mind if I FaceTime my mom with you? Because her calming voice just helps me chew my food slower.
No! Oh, she's going to stay on the phone even throughout the date. I see.
And that'd be strange, but do you just go with it?
I don't know.
She was really nervous, baby.
Well, one of our
bad for that?
one of our listeners says his date asked him to do something unusual shortly after they sat down to dinner.
Oh.
Okay.
We're going to see if it had any effect on why he's not getting a call back when we do your second date update right after this. There's certain professions out there that are just considered sexy.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Like who's not swiping right on a hot firefighter?
Well,
Right?
that's
Excuse
a good
me?
point.
Even a
Oh, okay. I thought
Did you
you were
want
going
me
to
to
say no.
moan or something? What did you
I thought
want?
you were going to say no. Or
Spray me down with the hose.
that's more like it.
That's what Alexis is doing, but she turned her mic off.
Exactly.
You can't hear
Or
it.
a hunky doctor.
Yeah, that's the classic, right?
Or a sultry child and family therapist.
Okay, this is. I don't think.
Yeah.
Let me tell you my problem.
Tell
sir.
me how my childhood upbringing turned me bad.
Did you just say abandonment issues? Oh, yeah.
And one of our listeners apparently couldn't resist the lure of a smoke show in a sexy uniform. So let's talk to him about it. His name is Nick. Nick, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, y'all.
Okay,
Dude,
what uniform? I'm getting
I
worried.
know. I am so curious about the profession here.
Is this like a milkman uniform?
Yeah. Well, who's this person that you met and what do they do?
Her name is Becca, and she's a cop.
Oh, she is a
Oh,
cop. Okay.
lady cop.
Hey,
I will
you
say-
cuff me or I cuff you.
Lady cops are sexy.
They
It's just
are.
like, their waist always looks so cinched. Like, it looks good. They
Handcuffs
look good.
ready to go at
Yeah.
a moment's
Honestly,
notice.
just the power that they have.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're always like license and registration, and I'm like 5'10" and single.
I'm
Okay.
sure we're all telling you stuff you already know, right, Nick?
Exactly.
Now,
Yeah.
did you meet her while getting arrested, or?
No, we met on the apps.
Oh, you did.
Okay.
If you're a cop, do you share that on the app, or is that a no-no?
That was her picture.
Oh, it was okay.
Of course, I made a dumb joke. I said, "Are you a real cop or a stripper?"
Kind of risky, but
Yikes.
Did she like that?
No, she was like, "Ha ha, you're only the 10th person to say that."
yeah, I was gonna say it's
Yeah, I guess that was a pretty basic joke.
Yikes. So you're already starting in the hole with her.
Yeah, but she responded. Isn't that just half the battle
Yeah.
in dating apps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you turn it around?
She did have other pictures on there, and there was a picture of her having a cup of coffee at a cafe. And so I was like, "Oh, you like coffee?"
I thought for sure you were going to make a donut joke at that point.
Oh, Brooke, I didn't even think of
Missed
that.
opportunity. That would have been super.
No, no, you already took a jab. You're
Yeah.
good, bro.
What did you do with the coffee?
I just was like, "Oh yeah, are you a coffee fan?" And she basically got super fired up and was like,
And then you asked her, "What's your drink?" Right? Like that's what you have to ask.
I did. And then she started going off about how she had gone recently to her favorite coffee shop and they got her coffee order wrong. And she wasn't mad about it, but she was just mentioning it. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'll put a bad Yelp review on their site for you." And that made her laugh.
Oh.
That's cute. This
Okay.
is a cute connection.
Okay. So this is all the chat leading up to the date.
All the chat leading up to the date. And so I recovered and I was like, "Well, let's hang out. Let's go out to dinner."
Nice.
And how was that? Where'd you guys, was it fancy or was it more casual?
Was it coffee?
No, it wasn't coffee. I would say it was, mid. I didn't want to go like divey, but I also
Good.
didn't want to go like high pressure, super expensive. So
Dude, yeah.
That's great.
went to a place that felt comfortable, great conversation. We talked a little bit about her working in law enforcement.
Yeah. What is it like to go on a date with a real cop?
She didn't come in the uniform. It was pretty chill.
Didn't come in, did you expect her to come in
Yeah.
uniform at any point?
No, I don't know. Some people get off work and then they just come directly out. No, I wasn't expecting that, I guess.
Okay.
It would feel like a very powerful move, though, to sit in a booth right next to a cop and like.
I would think that somebody was with their parole officer.
Yeah.
Even then,
So true.
you come off as a bad boy at that point to everybody in the
Oh, my
restaurant.
God.
So
Hey, so was she cool though? Because like you're on a date with a cop, I would be nervous the whole
Oh, me
time.
too.
Like,
Like-
did you only have one drink?
Can you
Like-
mention like your tabs are expired?
Yeah,
They're gonna
like-
follow you and get you.
Like, yeah, that's a good point. Like,
how
what
does
did
it go?
Yeah.
That was on my mind. I was like, I can't tell any stories about my bad boy early days, all that sort of stuff. But there was one point, we didn't really stick to her working in law enforcement too long, but there was one point where she was like, hey, do you mind if we could switch seats so I can face the door?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, people that are in law enforcement, they always want to see in case they can never be caught by surprise.
Yeah, emergency
I mean, at
situation.
least that's what happens in the movies.
No, but that's smart, though.
Or it's a good excuse for her to be like, when I need to escape from this date, I know exactly where I need to run to.
I mean, either way.
Yeah, so did you switch?
Yeah, I was down with making that happen. So we did. She's a really smart person. We had really good conversation about lots of topics. I don't know why at this point she's not texting me back.
Well, how did
interesting.
the night end?
It ended with a really nice hug, a let's do this again. I didn't go in for the kiss because it didn't feel like we were quite there, but there was definitely some chemistry. And when I said, let's do this again, there was no hesitation, no, let me think about it, let me look at my schedule, none of that stuff. I can tell the brush off and an actual, let's do this again.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You should have asked if you could hit the siren in her cop car and driven around the block real quick.
Oh, right along. Did
Because
she
no
let you
one's
touch
ever
the stick?
no one's ever asked that before. I mean, who knows? Maybe she's on an undercover mission, and that's why she hasn't gotten back to you because she's not allowed.
Oh, so wait, Nick, question. Is she the one who suggested that you go have dinner at that particular restaurant?
Wait a minute, and she had to watch the door, Jeff?
Yeah.
I threw out a couple of options when we were chatting, and she selected that one.
Oh, was it in a really shady part of town for no reason whatsoever?
Or a really nice part of town. Maybe it's a white-collar crime.
Oh, it could be.
Like embezzlement or something.
Oh my God, we might actually help solve a crime by doing this second date update.
Probably not.
Well,
All right, Alexis, that's not
saying.
fun.
yeah. And you know how most cops are. When you get them on the phone, they tell you everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're like an open book.
Yeah, those cops.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever had that long of a conversation with an officer.
Well, this is going to be a first in a lot of different ways for us
Okay,
then.
hopefully they don't run a background check on the show.
Oh,
yeah.
What if we have Brooke flirt with the cop?
Oh,
Don't.
God.
I've never gotten out of a ticket.
That's right.
Ever.
This is going to be interesting when we come back. Call Becca and get you your second date update right after this. Normally, our show is getting cops called on us.
Yeah, that's true.
But today, we're the ones calling up a cop.
That's right. Tables have turned.
Yeah, not to report an emergency, but to get answers for our friend Nick, who went out with a law enforcement officer named Becca the other night.
So do we just dial 911 and ask for Becca?
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
We
Okay.
actually have Becca's cell phone number, so it's probably easier to do
wow.
that.
Probably more convenient.
Thing is, Nick's not getting a call back after their romantic dinner. Is there a reason for it, or was the whole dinner a front for a sting operation that she was running to bring down an Italian mob boss?
I mean, honestly, that sounds like he's making a joke, but she sat facing the door. She picked the restaurant, and now she's not calling him back.
Yeah. She knows
Good
she has a-
evidence, Brooke.
Thanks, Alexis.
Nick, did you realize when you reached out to us for help that this is where the call was going to go?
I like your imagination. I don't know if that's the case. She's cute. She's smart. She's a great woman.
Are
And
you sure?
At least that's what she wants you to think.
Yeah, dude, sounds like she has a hit out on her.
Yeah.
Her back was facing she knows that there's a hitman out there looking for her, dude.
It's possible. Or maybe there's a simple reason and you messed up in some way.
Yeah.
So let's figure it out. I'm going to dial her number.
Both are going to be great options.
Yeah, whatever it is. We are here for the tea. So let's do it.
Yes.
I'm dialing it right now.
Hello?
Hi, we're looking to speak with Becca.
Speaking?
Hey, Becca. How you doing? You're on the...
Officer Becca.
God, I'm honestly kind of nervous.
Well,
Is
I
that
know.
weird?
Or is it like a
I don't know if
captain?
we should really mention that.
It was a little
honestly.
late.
Who is this?
We're Brooke and Jeffrey in the morning, and you probably heard my co-host say Officer Becca, because we heard that you're a cop. And I just want to ask you up front, is it okay for us to mention your profession on the radio?
I'm okay with that.
We're allowed to say that? Okay.
Well, she put it on her dating profile, he said.
But on the radio, I mean, that's a different thing, you know?
Oh, we're sleazier than a dating app.
Definitely.
Okay.
More
yes.
people probably see her profile than hear
Yes.
this.
But
We're joking, Becca.
bottom line is, we wanted to talk to you about a date you went on recently with a guy named Nick.
Yeah.
Cute.
Oh, that sigh was not good.
So Nick reached out to us because he said he really enjoyed spending time with you that night. And he's curious if there's a reason why you're not calling him back and arranging a second meetup.
Honestly, I'd say he's clueless. Like, he really expected to see you again.
Yeah. So obviously I work in law enforcement. I've been on the force for some time now.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to always look up who I'm going on a date with or who I'm spending time with.
Yeah.
Don't you wish
gotta
you
pay the
had
fee. Oh, wow.
that type of access, Alexis?
I know. I only have my reverse Google image search.
Yeah.
I mean, but like I did this on my own time. I don't use like police scanners. I hired someone
okay.
myself.
Oh,
Okay.
you hired.
You're
Yeah.
just doing your own normal, you're probably better at it than us.
You got more resources
Web
than the
search
average
type of
person.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found some things that I thought he would be more forthcoming with. And when he wasn't, it turned me off. I have no more interest.
Wait, did he lie? Oh, wait, are you saying he lied to you on the date?
He did kind of abstain from the truth. He wasn't forthcoming with information, which I feel is a lie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're dating a cop, you have to be honest, especially if it's about. Hold on, can I ask? Was it like a criminal thing? Right? That's the only thing you looked up, right?
I don't know if it's appropriate for the radio.
Okay.
Wait,
Well,
is it
was
something?
he like wanted?
If it's like a record that is supposed to be private, then don't share it. But if it's something any of us could find on the internet,
Yeah, that's true.
spill away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we honestly don't have standards. But the thing that you might not realize, Becca, is that part of being on this segment is the person agrees to hear whatever the reason is, no matter how embarrassing or strange it might be.
I mean, if he agreed to that, then yeah, I'll share it.
Yeah.
He was married a year ago to a Russian woman, and she filed for divorce about a month ago.
Oh, that's fresh.
Huh.
Yeah, that's a huge part of his life, and to just withhold that information.
That's a lot of first date to bring up, though.
Yeah,
I'm with
right.
Alexis on that. Like, how do you even start? So, listen, I had this Russian wife,
Yeah.
and a
We
month
got a
ago,
divorce.
like that.
You were expecting him to bring that up?
Yeah, I think I was expecting him to tell me if he was separated. Being separated is a lot different from divorce.
Oh, it's not
So-
official yet.
Yeah,
Like all the
and
papers
I
haven't
just feel
signed.
like he could withhold a lot of information if he's not forthcoming about the truth.
But that's
I
kind
could
of-
see that. I mean, I don't know. I kind of am with her on that. Like, if it's divorce and final and you're done with it, but if you're in the middle of a separation.
And I think you can list it on your dating profile, like specifically your status, single, divorce, separating.
Is that what
like,
you look for mostly? Is the
Mostly,
separated
yeah.
ones? Because
Like
people are dealing
really
with a lot of.
the most traumatized would be great.
You like the criers.
Yeah, but did you even talk about relationships at all on the date?
Yeah, I mean, I hinted about it, and I shared about mine a little bit, you know, just keeping respectful details private. But yeah, he said he didn't want to talk about it, and it seemed like he was evading the truth instead of just a private person.
Okay.
Oh,
so,
well, can you at least let him off with a warning?
You know, Becca, I think the person who's actually going to find all of this the most interesting is actually Nick himself, who is listening on the other line, has tapped into our phone somehow.
And that's not against the law. That's not a crime.
We did consent to it, though, so he is there wanting to talk to you.
Wow, come on, guys.
I'm sorry, that's how it works.
It's all in good fun.
I mean, you wanted the truth out of him. Now's the chance.
Nick, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. So what's up, Becca? You go on dates with people and you look up their history before you do so?
Yes, Nick, I'm a cop.
And a girl, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we were going to a public place, and I feel like that's kind of using your cop resources to look up my history was...
Excuse me, I didn't use police resources. I used my own personal resources, and I just think it's really weird you wouldn't say anything.
I mean, I'm not telling you if that's true or not. I mean, you could have looked that up on some strange site that has false information.
Fake marriages
Fake
report.
divorces.com.
Wait.
Ah, there it is.
Okay, I'm actually going to back him on this because I have a friend whose fiance looked her up when they were dating, and he got all the information wrong.
It's true. You probably have the wrong guy.
Nick is a common name.
Becca,
Searching
Becca,
Nick.
is that a possibility that maybe it's a different Nick and you mixed them up?
It's 100% Nick,
Really?
How do you know that?
because I'm a cop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy answer.
I'm going to text you your marriage certificate right now.
Whoa.
No.
Oh, Oh.
Wait, you can do that?
You got the marriage certificate.
I think it's public record.
Yeah, I think they are.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. You can look.
We should look Brooks up.
I know. How
is
many
it
she
void
has.
or is it not? I'm kidding, Michael, if you're listening.
Which Michael?
It's absolutely public record, and I just texted you a photo of it, and there's your wife's name.
Uh-oh.
Wait, Nick, do you have a text?
Nick.
Look, here's the deal.
Okay.
You fake that liar. I defended you.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
It was a mistake. It was a short-term thing.
Oh.
Yes, I was married. Yes, I'm getting a divorce. It's going to be done very soon.
Why didn't you
Okay.
just
Yeah, you should have just said that 10 minutes
with
ago.
all of that?
We're
Yeah.
back at the start, but the truth is out.
Should have been the first thing you said to her when you greeted her inside of the restaurant.
not that
Opened
either.
up
At
about
this
your
point,
separation.
maybe.
Yeah, hi, how you doing? I'm going through a divorce.
Becca, if he would have told you that, you would have been okay with it, really?
I mean, honesty is the best policy. We all have a past.
Wow.
Yeah, and like, come on, what else do you know about me? Do you look at my record from, college?
Wait, you're still the one being defensive? You just got outed as a liar?
Well, I am curious what you did in college. That sounds kind
Wait,
of
do
fun.
we all want to know?
It was a stupid prank with the cow, but that's not even the point.
Went to cows.
What? Nick, it's not her fault, man.
Oh.
Okay, well.
I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm saying it's my past,
Gotcha.
and it's not relevant.
Shouldn't matter.
In Nick's defense, this is kind of embarrassing information to open up with, not to mention like on the radio, but especially on a first date with someone you're trying to impress.
He's the one
Yeah.
that chose to do the radio part.
Well, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
true.
saying this
I know,
is a
you're
lot.
being sweet.
I'm trying to defend a guy
I
who's in
know.
a weird spot here. So, Becca, he has admitted that you were right, and he's ready to move on, hopefully with you. Would you be willing to give him a chance?
I'm not interested, guys. It's just a no-brainer for me. You got to be honest.
Oh.
Man, Nick.
I wasn't dishonest. I am separated. I'm getting a divorce.
Yeah,
It's
Nick-
just too
Nick,
late.
You started with it probably wasn't me. Like that.
I didn't know she was such a good cop.
Yeah, her
there it is.
interrogation skills, they're next level, dude. So
Yeah.
maybe like a different professional uniform, like a Coast Guard. They won't look up your past.
How about just be honest on the next date?
Nah, that's no fun.
Why is this so difficult?